Start. What's good, YouTube? Cardfight King here. AQUA Life Baby, you already know. I know this is not my Blue Wave mat. I left it at my dad's house, but today, guys, I'm gonna be doing a updated version of my Blue Wave deck. If you guys were watching my stream when I was testing out the Blue Waves, it's the build that I was using there. I'm still getting better with the deck. I'm still testing out different things. So far, I'm feeling really comfortable with this build. This build's been flowing really well together, and I really like how the build's going. Now there are some things that I did change that I'm still going back and forth about, especially in the Stride deck. But we're gonna get to all of that in the deck profile. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, guys. So starter is still Blue Wave Dagger Master Draco Kit. Starter's still really good. I tried out Andre, and I wasn't really feeling Andre. Like, yes, he does enable an extra battle for a counterblast, but this guy is just too amazing. Getting back advantage when you're on your first stride turn, when you're lacking advantage, getting that nice +1 advantage. When you restand with Tetra Boil, when you restand with Anger Boy. I mean, when you restand with Tetra Boil or Tetra Drive, this guy definitely comes in handy. Now, there was situations where I did have to do it with Tetra Drive, but we're not going to get into that. So I personally, I've been really liking him. Now, I do put him to the side or behind my Vanguard, depending on how my opening hand looks. Like if I get like a grade 2 and a Tidal Assault or something like that, and I know I'm going to have a pretty strong turn 2, I'll call him to the side. But if my hand's looking really funky, and if things if it looks like I'm going to go more center column up to 3, then I will just keep him behind my Vanguard, so I can get at least a guaranteed 1 to pass from a 10k shield. During the early stages of the game. So far I'm liking him over Andre right now. Next, I'm playing 4 copies of heal triggers. Obviously, you gotta have heals. Now, the good thing about this deck is that one thing about I like that we have in Aqua Force is that everything but the heal trigger does something. All of our triggers except the heal trigger do something. That's very good. So this trigger right here, so obviously draw trigger goes into Soul Marvel Clone plus 3k to something. Very key, actually, very key. I actually use her quite a bit. I like to save her for certain combo plays. Sometimes I get her on the field early for boosting opportunities until I need to throw her into the soul, depending on the matchup and the situation, of course. But she's still very good. 4 of the Supersonic Sailor. This deck does go through Counterblast a lot more often than Thavas and some other things. So you definitely want to make sure that you... I would definitely recommend playing 4 of this guy because just like back when we played Tetra Drive instead of 13, I'm using him a lot more often than I usually used to. And he's been coming in great, opening up different combo plays and whatnot. And he also is food for High Tide Sniper and Orthea. So definitely a great card. And then obviously the Blue Wave crit, Brutal Trooper. He's my favorite looking crit trigger in the game. I love this guy so much. When you put him back into the if you have a Blue Wave Vanguard, you throw him back into the deck. He gives your Vanguard the skill that on the second battle or more when it attacks, you get to draw a card. Now, let me point out a few things about this card, guys. One, if you guys saw when we were doing the stream that there was an opponent that we played during the stream that was like, no, you don't get to draw. It gives the Vanguard the ability for the entire turn. It does not say once per turn on the ability. The ability lasts for as long as my Vanguard does not change. That means that if I re-ride my Vanguard during the turn or anything like that, then the ability change will come off. But as long as my Vanguard stays on the field and restands, he keeps the ability second battle or more, meaning that when my Tetra Drive or Tetra Boil restands, his ability is still active for me to draw a card. Please remember that. Another thing is, this card is not a draw card unless you're on Tetra Boil or Tetra Drive and you use his ability. A lot of people have this misconception that he's a draw card, and I'm going to cover that in another video, but he's not a draw card. He is a draw card only when you restand something. That means on the 5th battle of your turn, after you've used his ability, he then becomes draw card because the first draw is to replace himself. So there's that. All right, on to grade 1. All right, so four G perfect guards. Again, guys, if the cross is heavy in your meta, if Laurel is still a problem, and those type of players like to swing at your rear guards, then you don't have to play these cards. You can play the perfect guards if you're so afraid of that happening to you. But I just prefer the G perfect guards. This deck, again, does run through counterblast quite a bit, and we need to be able to unflip damage so we can continue our combo plays, and I just prefer the unflip. I value the unflip for what he gets and for what he does for the deck in the long run, more so than protecting the sides. Because, you know, if we play the game right, if we do certain things, we have a nice backup plan for some follow-up turns and things like that. 4 stride enablers. I moved up to 4 stride enablers. The reason why I went to 4 stride enablers is what I originally had, and it's what it's going to be. This deck needs to stride. This deck needs to get off its first stride so we can at least get to GB2, so we can get to using Anger Boil's GB2 ability if we can't stride or don't want to pay a heavy cost of stride, you know, dropping 2 titles, 2 magnums, 3 grade 1s, things like that. Getting to GB2 is really important in this deck, so I want to see my stride enablers early and often for that fact. Next is a few changes. I'm going just to do these two. 2 Stacia. I bumped Stacia down to 2, and I bumped down Bright Shooter 2. The reason why I bumped them down 2 is Stacia is still, I still see Stacia quite often, but you know, she doesn't have as big of a role as she does in Thavis. Even though I am playing her at 2 in Thavis, she doesn't have as big of a role. Her best role comes when you're on Tetra Drive and you have to do Tetra Drive restand, or you strode over Tetra Drive and you're doing your Tetra Bowl turn for her. She also helps when you do your you know, when getting off your first stride, your Thavis turns, or if you have to go into Aristotle or something like that, a free back row attack, just still too good. And Bright Shooter is a good card, but I find that he's only really good late in the game. When you're recycling your grade 3s for the Tetra Boil turn, or he can be good early game if you damage check a 3, heal off a 3, it's in the drop zone, or, you know, you discard a 3 for a perfect guard or something like that. Then you find a way to get to the 4th battle, use him to boost while you have a Blue Wave Vanguard. Then after the 4th battle, you can add that grade 3 to your hand. But I usually find him more useful late in the game rather than earlier in the game. But that's why I bumped them down to 2, because I'm still seeing them pretty consistently to a degree. It's just that I wanted to play this card, and you guys know my feelings about Orthea. Orthea is an amazing card, guys. Now she doesn't have probably as big of a role as she plays in my Thavas deck, but the reason why I wanted to put her in here is because, again, my meta, again, is very heavy on field destruction, and a lot of the times I want to have boosters on the board. I want to still be able to boost and get some good numbers, as well as the combo with her and Tidal Assault can still be applied in this deck. You know, you throw a trigger on Tidal Assault, even though Tidal Assault might not get the 10k unless you do it on an Anger Boil turn. Like, she works with Anger Boil as well. You know, you restand something in front of her, it gets 10k, and then after she boosted, you can counterblast 1, soul blast 1, and do that. So she works really well with Anger Boil from you know, how I've been testing the deck. And again, the Tidal Assault combo with her is still live. You have access to her and High Tide Sniper. Right now, again, yes, it sounds like it's a competition for soul, but again, guys, we run cards that go into our soul. It's about how we use it, you know, how we manage it, and things like that. So I really like her. Again, the resist is really good. What the combos and stuff that she brings to the deck has been very fruitful, and I've just been liking this balance line. Now I'm going to probably test more of her, less of him, maybe more of her, less of him. Probably going 3-3 split. See how the deck runs without him. Just going to be testing different things during this kind of tournament season downtime, whatever that we're having, at least over here in my area. So yeah. All right, on to grade 2. All right, guys. Grade 2, you already know the boy, Tidal Assault. The man's on the watch list for a reason. He's just too good of a card. Enables the 4th battle. He's free. He enables us to have a very strong grade 2 game if we need to play that. Even if we ride into grade 3 first, he still allows us to have that really good early game rush, as well as bait attacks to him instead of our Vanguard. So very good, very, very good card. I just can't see me playing less than 4 in an Aqua Force deck. I I tested out things without him, and I didn't see him consistently. You know, when you see him, generally good things happen when you see Tile Assault. Now I'm running 4 copies of Foibles. Now I know a lot of people disagree about him. You know, some people disagree about him, but I'm part of the people that like him. I like him. The way that I've built my deck, the way that I play with my deck, and the strategies that I implement for my deck fit. Make him one of the most useful cards in deck. I love to see this guy early and often, which is why I run him at 4. He is really good on the Thavasar, even though you might have to commit an extra card to the board so that you can make full use of his ability certain times. It's still a very good card, and even committing that one extra card, will put you in a better position due to him being able to swing for higher numbers twice. Getting him in the early game when you ride your Tetra drive, you push to 4, call him out. Now he can swing for 11K twice. On the Tetra Boil turn, he's amazing. Being able to being able to attack for 11, restand, or 14, whatever the case may be. I mean, there's just a lot of good things about this card. Yes, he has to be 3rd battle only, but if you implement your strategies correctly, if you build the deck correctly, if you build your playstyle in whatever way to tutor to his abilities, then you'll find that he can be a very fruitful card. Especially, I think he is probably the most dangerous, not only just on the Tetra Boil turn, but the Anger Boil GB2. On Anger Boil GB2, you can attack with him for 9. You can probably poke at an intercept unit, killer an intercept unit, or you can boost with him, swing at a Vanguard for a good 16, restanding him with Anger Boil skill plus 10K, and now he will be when you attack with him on the 3rd battle, he'll be at a base 21K. So he's just an amazing you guys. Now, I will say this, guys, and I'm gonna do another video on this, but people keep using this card wrong, and I don't get why people just don't look at the card, read the card, and just do the ability correctly. When you attack with him on the 3rd battle of the turn only, you counterblast 1, he gains 2,000 power, and then at the end of the battle that he attacked, he restands. It's not you attack, then at the end of the battle, you counterblast. He's not Magnum Assault. He's different from Magnum Assault. When you attack with him, he's an 11K attacker. On the 3rd battle, you counterblast 1, and as long as you have a Blue Wave Vanguard, he's an 11K attacker. He's not 9K, he's 11. And then he restands and he retains his power, so he's 11 again. Or more, whichever the case may be. I've just been watching too many Blue Wave videos in which people misuse this guy's ability. It annoys me, and it kind of just ruins the video. And then 3 copies of High Tide Sniper. High Tide Sniper, guys. I stopped running him. I stopped running him for a little bit after the Clan Booster came out in my Favas deck because I wanted to test out Adelaide. But High Tide Sniper is just so much better, guys. I mean, High Tide Sniper, he just makes plays. In Blue Waves, he makes too many plays. Again, my brother is a big brawler player, and and there's a bunch more brawler players in my meta now. A lot of people have picked up the deck. And him being able to swing 19 on the cross ride is it's just so good. It's very, very important for very, very important for me, those type of numbers. And his 19K is nothing to scoff at. And so what you can do is you can do different plays where you don't have to restand him to give him the extra 3K power with Tetra Boil, because he'll be at 19. You can stand something else and make different plays. Like what he does is he allows us to use our soul as ammo, because before I didn't have anything that used the soul. Now that I do, again, he allows us to build up our soul and use it as ammo for other things. For himself to get 10K, as well as when you do your Tetra Boil plays and things like that. Let's say you attack with him, you restand him, he gets plus 3K. Well, now, by himself, he's at a base of 22K. So he's really good, and he activates on the 3rd battle of turn or more. So, after you swing with Tetra Boil, you're going to be able to get his ability off. I mean, this guy is so good, and I put him back in my Thavas deck, and I couldn't have been happier. High Tide Sniper is just an amazing card, guys, and I definitely urge you guys to try it out. Now, some people might be thinking, why am I not playing Magnum Assault? Well, the reason why I'm not playing Magnum Assault is the way that I've built the deck, the way that, when I construct my turns, the attack patterns and things like that, and, the comboing, especially with Foibles in the deck, it just seems a bit slow. He was Generation Break, so certain aspects of the early game weren't there. He was one of my key ride targets before, but Magnum Assault just really wasn't working out well for me in this deck, guys. If I built the deck, if I built the deck differently than I have it now, Magnum Assault probably might be a little bit better. But so far in this deck, guys, Magnum Assault just does not fit it. High Tie Sniper just gives me a lot more damage output, as well as Foivos and High Tie Sniper definitely give me a lot more damage output than what I was getting from Magnum Assault, him having to be boosted. Because again, in my meta, my back row is, my back row doesn't stay there. My back row is generally gone. Brawlers hitting it, Kagro burning it, Link Jokers locking, things like that. So, I'm used to working without a back row, and this guy is one of those perfect cards to run, when you're working without a back row in a good portion of your games. All right, and on to grade 3. All right, guys, and running 4 copies of your boy, my old friend, Tetra Drive Dragon. I like to run 4 for consistency. Some people run maybe like a tech card of Skiros. Some people might run a tech card of Thavis. You can use a stride enable to search him out if you don't really want to ride this, but I don't care. I really don't care if I have to ride him, because, again, he has Blue Wave in his name, meaning that I'm not canceling out a portion of my stride deck. And he also has great early game and counter rush potential. If your opponents, again, if they rush you to 4, he's a limit break unit. So when you're at 4 damage, you can restand on them and make certain plays like that. Again, the reason why I don't play a Thavis or a Skiros in this build is because I'm going for more consistency than anything else. Because if I have to ride a Skiros, that means that I can't use Bright Shooter. I can't use Foivos. I can't use Tetra Boil. So, and again, if I'm that scared of somebody stunning and blah blah my front row, then I wouldn't pick up this deck for a tournament. I would just go to my Thavas deck where Skiros has his best usage. So that's why in this deck just has very high power, high aggression, a lot of advantage, and I'm going for more consistency by having him in here as a Blue Wave name. And again, like I said before, the early game for him is very, very good, beneficial. Now, I will say this. Being stuck on him kind of sucks, though. I will say that being stuck on him does kind of suck. And it would be the same for Skiros, too, because being stuck on him means that, when I stride in a Tetra Ball, I don't get that nice restand plus through Vanguard, which means that I'm going to need a unit on the board so that I can get to the 4th battle. So in this instance, what Angerbo does over him is he creates the 4th battle. He doesn't. So that means that units like Foivos are much better. Units like Stacia definitely come in handy. It's just things like that, guys, which is why you don't want to be stuck on him. But if you have to, it's fine. He has the name, and he allows you to get all of your effects off and your plays off. Again, it's for consistency purposes. And then we have the new boy, Anger Boil. All right, so Anger Boil, guys, he has probably the best GB2 ability in the game. I think he has the best GB2 ability in the game. If you think something is better, put it in the comment section below. We'll talk about it. But his GB2 ability is when he attacks an opponent's Vanguard, give him plus 5,000, then choose another unit, restand it, and that unit gains 10,000 power. And it's only on wave 2 only. So wave 2 only, so second battle only. Guys, he's a mini Lambros. He's very good. Like I said, why I like to run Foivos. If I'm at GB2, sometimes I won't stride into Tetra Ball if my opponent's at like 2 damage, 1 damage. We're playing a really defensive game. He's great for a tempo swing. Restanding him being at pretty much a 21k base, and it's free. He doesn't cost a counterblast. Having him and Orthea can they can do some things. His GB2 ability has a lot of plays that it can make and has a lot of synergy with the units in this deck. Again, he allows you to work off of 1 column, getting great value off of just having at least 1 column for his ability. And then his stride break ability is only when you stride Tetra Boil. So only when you stride Tetra Boil, when you attack and it's the second battle of the turn, choose 2 of your rear guards, restand them, and they both gain plus 3,000 power. Again, you can restand him to him gain plus 3 power. You can restand him, he'll gain plus 3 power. Again, he'll be able to hit cross rides. He'll be able to better hit cross rides. Well, not better hit cross rides because the difference between 22 and that, so it's not really too much of a difference. But he'll be able to hit cross rides a bit better. better. You know, you restand one of your grade 3s, they'll be at 14k, they'll be able to hit a cross ride for at least a 5k shield and things like that. He just helps you make numbers, and he's very, very strong against cross ride decks. And then, so yeah, that's pretty, I mean, that, nothing, you got to play 4 and 4 to me. In the Stride meta, I want to be a Stride, but awesome. Now, some people play 7 grade 3s, and if that's you, that's you. But I go with a full Blue Wave lineup for consistency. I don't want to ruin that consistency and run into those situations, because I've done it before in the past where I would play something outside of, you know, what would be more consistent, and I've screwed myself in tournament play and in free play and whatnot. So again, I'm going all for consistency. His GB2 ability, again, is great for tempo swings, great for when you can't stride, can't afford to stride. Again, what's better than having a mini Lambros? All right, and on the Stride deck. Stride deck. Go. All right, and finally for the Stride deck, guys, 2 Commander Thavis. I'm not taking him out. He's too important of a first stride. Giving a unit plus 5k and the ability to attack from the back row, so you know, allowing them to stay safe. He offers them some nice protection, is very, very good. His GB3 ability with getting Thavis's retire skill. When your unit attacks in the 4th battle, choose 3 of your opponent's units. They choose 1 and kill it off. He's just a very, very stable card. Very, very good. I really think he's a staple in all Aqua Force decks, at least 2. And from last I saw online, guys, he's like $35 a piece. And remember, I told y'all in an earlier video, this guy is definitely going to go up in price. And when I picked him up, he was about, I think I picked him up for about $22, you know, right after the Clan Booster came out. But now he's at about $35. So yeah. And then, now, here's where it gets into a bit of a dilemma. Now, I am running 2 copies of, I'm running Aristotle and I am running Tidal Bore. Now, the reason why I'm running Tidal Bore is because sometimes, you know, you get to the 3rd battle, you pretty much know your opponent's not going to attack, and he's just there for a nice soft +1. He's okay. You know, again, he works a little bit better in the Thavis deck. I really like him because when you can counterblast 1 and you can pop something off your opponent's board that's annoying. You know, your opponent early rushed you, get rid of that Commander Laurel on the board, get rid of that you know, Amon starter, whatever the case may be. Just gets rid of problematic units that are going to be on your opponent's board. He's just very, very solid unit. Now, I do see other people playing over these 2 and 2, playing 2 Lambros into him. You know, Lambros is, you know, pretty much having 3, 6, you know, when you stride, pretty much, 3 finishing turns. Lambros and 2 Tetra Boils. I like Lambros. I do. And I just don't feel like he fits too well in this deck. Though he fits well in pretty much any Aqua Force deck. I can say that. I think that the way this deck is built more for finishing your opponent off with Tetra Boil. And Tetra Boil can definitely finish your opponent off. I mean, it's a restanding Vanguard, so your opponent's going to have to guard twice for like 3 or 4 stages. It's still good. But if you play Lambros over these 2 guys and you run 2 and 2, that's perfectly fine. It's something that I'm currently testing out, and I don't really have too much to say on it. But 2 Lambros is still good. But I'm choosing to go with this. And then 4 copies of Tetra Boil. Tetra Boil is the finisher deck. He's an amazing stride unit. So when he attacks, you counterblast 1, Persona Flip, and then he gets the ability that when your unit attacks an opponent's Vanguard at the end of the 4th battle. Now, it's only on the 4th battle, guys. Wave 4 only. When your unit attacks an opponent's Vanguard, you discard 1 card and you restand him. He's literally half of Tetra Drive. Very good unit. So what you do is you always attack with him on the 2nd battle. If you're on Anger Bowl, you restand. If not, whatever. You just attack with him on the 2nd battle. And then 3rd battle, you have Foivos, you have High Tide, you have anything else. And then on the 4th battle, your unit must attack an opponent's Vanguard on the 4th battle. If they do not attack an opponent's unit on the 4th battle of the turn, when they're on Tetra Boil and they want to restand him, they have missed the timing for the restand. They have missed the fulfilling the condition for his ability. They cannot restand him. They missed out, and they must continue on their turn or just end their turn there. So just remember that, guys. If that unit does not attack on the 4th battle of the turn to the opponent's Vanguard, regardless of where its power is at, regardless of where the opponent's Vanguard's power is at, that unit's power is at, it has to attack on the 4th battle. If it doesn't, then you miss the condition, you miss the time for the skill, and they or you have pretty much screwed yourself out of a Tetra Ball turn. Pretty much. All right, but yes, very good unit, very pressurizing, an amazing stride unit. Can't say any more about him. All right, but that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys were able to learn. I will be streaming probably sometime tomorrow, pending my schedule. Tomorrow will be Friday. Maybe, maybe not. But like I said before, I'll probably be streaming either Saturday or Sunday, maybe. All right, but this is the Cardfight King, and I'm out. Peace.